your future.
ESPN's college basketball, North Carolina and Virginia, brought to you by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. And by Budweiser. Beechwood age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Volvo, a car you can believe in. We're getting set to head down to Charlottesville, Virginia. After this game, we're going live to Western Australia for a continuing coverage of the America's Cup. Today, New Zealand requesting a lay day, which is their right. Once around, each side can request a day off. So with Stars and Stripes with a 2-0 lead. There was no racing today among the challengers, but we'll be going live for an update. Also, word on the Kookaburra 3, Australia 4 controversy. That's after this game. Now let's get to the game in Charlottesville, and we'll be doing that right after we take this break.
Nice, Dougie. When unexpected guests stop by, movies from Video Library are just the ticket.
Pink Panther.
In fact, Video Library has thousands of ways to entertain you and your special guests. Make your next get-together an instant success with Video Library. We help you see things your way.
You can be on television. In fact, your commercial could be airing right now, right here, for your business. Think about it. Right now, thousands of people are watching this commercial. They could be watching your commercial. And tomorrow, they could be shopping in your store. Call this number. We'll tell you more about how you can be on television.
Carolina always has problems playing at Virginia, and the Tar Heels are number 3 in the country. Let's see how Lefty does in his debut as a color announcer, along with Mike Patrick. The first half full of reports on Illinois and Iowa. Now let's get to UVA.
Mike Patrick and Lefty Driesell back with you in Charlottesville, where we have North Carolina and the Cavaliers of Virginia coming up. North Carolina is 13-1, 2-0 in the ACC. They're ranked 2nd or 3rd in the polls this week. Virginia is 9-3. They are 1-1 in the ACC, and this would be a big ball game for them to win. If you'll remember, last year they came in here undefeated, ranked number 1 in the country, and they were knocked off by the Virginia Cavaliers. Right now, let's get the starting lineup from public address announcer Charlie Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the lineups for this evening's game between the University of Virginia Cavaliers and the Tar Heels from North Carolina. Starting at the forward positions for the University of North Carolina, number 35, Dave Popsa. For the Cavaliers, number 42, Andrew Kennedy. At the other Carolina forward position, number 34, J.R. Reed. For Virginia, number 21, Mel Kennedy. At center for the Tar Heels, number 24, Joe Wolf. For Virginia at center, number 22, Tom Sheehy. At guard for North Carolina, number 14, Jeff Lebo. For the Cavaliers, number 11, Richard Morgan. Rounding out the team for the Carolina Tar Heels, number 30, Kenny Smith. For Virginia, number 10, John Johnson. Tar Heels, Dean Smith. Coach of the Cavaliers, head coach Terry Holland.
The officials for tonight's game, Joe Forte, Jerry Donahue, and Stan Rote. And Lefty, you got more of a hand when you came in here tonight than either Dean Smith or Terry Holland got. It's a nice welcome, huh?
Well, you know, when I'm not coaching, they're nice to me. They usually hold up signs and boo me when I come in here, but it was very nice. I enjoyed that.
Now, the one guy who was booed when they introduced the starting lineups was J.R. Reed. In case people don't know, that's because he's from Virginia Beach, and the students were chanting traitor a little early.
Well, you know, J.R. was very seriously considering coming to Virginia, and I think his mother really wanted him to come here because she's a school teacher in the state of Virginia, and she thought Virginia boys ought to go to Virginia colleges, you know. But I'm going to tell you what, J.R. Reed's a great player, and I think he might be the best big man ever to play in the ACC.
Coach, here are the matchups. Anything in particular that we need to watch for?
Well, I may be interested to see who guards J.R. Reed and Popson and Wolf, see what the matchup will be there. Because they're all so much bigger than the Virginia guys.
And there's the series record. As you can tell, North Carolina is dominating 88-33. Last year they split during the regular season, winning home and home.
That series record doesn't mean anything, Otis. Tonight it's right here on the floor.
Right, most of these guys weren't around for the last 127 games.
That's right.
North Carolina controlling the opening tap. This is Joe Wolf, who missed a game a couple of games ago with a bad back, but came back to play. Great game against Duke. Right there, Lebo went one way, the pass went the other.
Well, I can see what Virginia was doing. They're sagging back in there. They're going to let Wolf and J.R. and Popson shoot outside, get as much help as they can back inside with their men, and right there was just a bad pass.
Here comes John Johnson, the junior out of Brooklyn, picked up by Lebo. This is Mel Kennedy, and this is Virginia's small lineup. Morgan.
Juniors will be very deliberate, take their time and get a good shot. That's the way they can be. There's a three-pointer.
Sheehy won't go. Kennedy had his hands on it inside, but lost it inside to Joe Wolf.
Watch the secondary breakdown in North Carolina. They like to take the ball down the sideline and kick it right inside or skip past it sometimes to the weak side for a three-point jumper.
Reed. His shot won't go, and Sheehy gets the rebound at Johnson.
He did a good job of blocking out Wolf that time and stopping him from getting the second shot. Yeah, I think Virginia's going to take their time and run the clock down a little bit, see what they can get.
This is Andrew Kennedy, a guy they want to have the ball. He gets the basket against Thompson and draws the foul.
It was a nice pass inside by Johnson. He threw a bounce pass along the baseline and made a great move. Watch his pass inside. Good bounce pass, good drop step, power move up. Got the three-pointer possible.
Kennedy in his last 10 games is shooting 62% from the floor. He has really come on after a slow start. The senior out of Kingston, Jamaica. And he'll have a chance for a three-point shot here. Not a great free throw shooter. 68% on the season. Got that one, and it's 3-0 Cavalier.
Here comes Virginia with the press. And I talked to Curry about this today. He's really not trying to steal the ball. He's just trying to slow him down a little bit, but he doesn't want to give him those.
Lebo. Here's the follow, and it's 3-2.
You got to keep him off the court. He's strong. He's got to be the strongest freshman ever to play in the ACC.
He's 6'9", 244, and it's all muscle.
I tell you, he's a man.
Sheehy. We'll keep track of Lebo. As Lefty pointed out, he was 0 for 8 last year. Johnson got the good shot and got the roll. Got the shooter's bounce. Smith on hustling it up. Great pass to Popson.
Virginia doesn't want that to happen. I know Curry doesn't want that to happen in his press. He wants them just to make a soft press in the front court and then get back and slow them up. But they killed him on the break that time.
Johnson guarded by Lebo. Mel Kennedy. Andrew Kennedy with a tip.
Here comes a quick break after the score.
Boy, they're up in a hurry. And Reed kicks it back outside to Wolf. Got good range on that jumper.
That's right. That's what they look for at the end of their break. If they don't get a layup or a shot, then they look for the jump shot coming back for the trailer. And that's what Wolf hit that time.
7-6. North Carolina trailing Virginia rather, with 17:28 to go in the half.
You just got to be patient there and take your time.
Morgan loves to shoot that ball. The rebound to Popson, and he got hit in the eye.
too quick. You're not going to beat North Carolina shooting that quickly. He's got to take his time. The rebounders weren't in position. If you shoot the ball too quickly, you don't give the rebounders a chance to get in position. They've got to get in position against North Carolina because they're so big.
Yeah, but, Coach, you've had shooters, as soon as they cross midcourt, they want to jack that thing up there.
Yeah, but I had to talk to him about it. See, he was off balance. He was drifting on his shot, and that's a tough shot right there. And he shot a little bit too quick.
Sheehy unintentionally came across and caught Thompson across the face, and they're attending to him now at the North Carolina sideline. And they'll get Curtis Hunter into the ballgame for the first time. Here's a kid who, when he first came to North Carolina, was rated as having unlimited potential. And you feel so sorry for him because he's had so many injuries in his career.
That's right. He's from Durham, North Carolina, right there near the university. And I think it was between them and Duke. And he was supposed to be a great one. He's coming along now. He's playing good ball for him. He's getting a chance to play. And he's gotten his confidence up. And he's going to be a factor for him before the year's over.
Wolf with a turnaround jumper. Great use of the glass. And North Carolina has the lead at 8-7.
That's the problem that Virginia's going to have. They've got to drop somebody back in there to help on Wolf because you can't play behind him. Here comes Virginia's trap. Here comes their double team. Back to the weak side real quick.
Lebo knocked it out of Sheehy's hand. Sheehy may have gotten away with a walk.
Sheehy missed getting that ball back. Andrew Kennedy was wide open. If he would have hit it in the middle and got it back to the weak side quickly, he would have had an easy shot inside.
And Virginia is playing a tough schedule. Morgan, another off-balance shot. He's a scorer, though, Coach.
Yeah, he is. He really put the ball back. He's got a great follow-through, and sometimes we'll isolate on his jump shot and show you his wrist.
Ball tipped outside. Hunter recovers. Wolf, great pass inside, and Hunter scores.
Yeah, they can't let that happen. That's the problem with laying off of the big guys. You let them on anybody. I like to, when I play North Carolina, when we used to play them, I like to get up close on the pass and not let him spot the open man like that.
And they are excellent passers, every one of them. Sheehy down the lane. Basket goes. And it's an offensive foul on Sheehy.
J.R. Reed did a good job of staying in his ground, and I think that was a good call.
Of course, every time there is a foul called against Sheehy, you have to worry for Virginia because Sheehy is an important factor up front, and he does tend to get in foul trouble.
He gets a lot of foolish fouls. That was a good move, though. He was going through the hole, and you know, I'll take a charge on that. It takes 2 points. Sure.
And Reed will come out of the game with the boos of the Virginia fans.
Yeah, that's another thing that North Carolina's got a little more depth, and they're running people in and out. Virginia's basically going to have to go with this 5 right here. They may play Dreisland or Dislin a little bit, and other than that, that's about it. And Sims may get in there.
You think they're going to have to play Dislin? I mean, with his height, he's not had a great year.
Well, I think they do because they need help inside, and if North Carolina starts hurting him on the boards, he's got to play some. He's got to play some anyway. Terry told me he was going to play him some tonight.
Hunter is up front, and there they're describing what they want to do to Reed on the sideline. It is an 11-10 Virginia first-half lead. Thompson to Lebo.
Virginia's still in the man-for-man, but they're doing a lot of sagging.
Wolf, his jumper. Basket counts, and there's a foul on it.
Joe Wolf has got a great turnaround jump shot. You give him a ball down there on a low post, he's going to stick that thing. Somebody's got to get in there and help on him, or they got to front him a little bit.
Shooting better than 50% from the floor.
Notice him get position right on the box, and if you let a man, a good post shooter, get it on the box right there, you're in trouble. Lebo did a good job of kicking it back into him, and there's his fadeaway jumping. Got a chance to get a 3-pointer.
And the foul was on Sheehy. That's number 2 on Tom Sheehy, and they'll have to sit him down. And Dislin, the 6'11 junior from Knoxville, comes into the ballgame.
Well, he got in there earlier than I thought he would.
Boy, sure did. Free throw is good. The 3-point play gives North Carolina a 13-11 lead and 7 points for Joe Wolf here in the opening half.
We're not a company, but outstanding people come to us every day. People who want to make a contribution to a team and do work that really counts. People eager to see new places, do the unusual, and find the unusual. People who become your friends for life. People just like you. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Army. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
The 1940
1987 Thunderbird. The 1987 Volvo 740 Turbo. A collector's item you can drive every day.
Piedmont Airlines presents a phone number so valuable, you'll never forgive yourself if you don't write it down. This is the number that'll get you airfares so low, you'll find them hard to believe.
It's got to be a pen, right? Hang on, we're looking.
And you'll also get Piedmont service that's been rated among the best in the industry. So call Piedmont today.
I got it.
What could be simpler?
Pretty good opening 4 minutes of basketball here in Charlottesville. North Carolina 13-11, and both teams really hot shooting, Coach. Virginia 5 of 8, North Carolina 6 of 9.
Right, now here comes North Carolina's full court press. I thought they might put that on a little sooner. There's a trap in the corner. Now, Virginia's got to take their time and get a good shot this time.
Dislin is in a pivot as Sheehy is on the Virginia bench with 2 personals. Johnson forced that one and got it.
Well, I call that fool's goal because he won't make many like that.
Branzino Smith into the ball game, and he traveled.
But you see, you got to watch North Carolina because every time Virginia scores, they're kicking that ball up quick. And Virginia's a little slow getting back. They were lucky he traveled that time. He had an easy shot.
13-13. Branzino Smith and Kenny Smith in the backcourt for Dean Smith. A lot of Smiths out there.
A lot of Smiths, I'm telling you. North Carolina sticking with their man-for-man. They haven't played much zone this year. I look for them playing man-for-man most of the whole ball game. They're overplaying the passing lanes like they always do. Good ball movement by Virginia that time.
Johnson likes to penetrate. This is Morgan, the shooter. Boy, he got a pretty arc on that thing.
Good ball control that time. He ran the clock in and got a good on-balance shot. That's what they've got to do to win.
Richard Morgan has 4 points. The delay, the net hung up on the rim. They've got that down, and Virginia leads it by 2 in front of a sellout crowd. And there is Sheehy with the 2 personals.
That's one way to stop a fast break. We used to put those long nets up so they hang up there, and then you stop for a fast break. See, that's what's been hurting Virginia. Terry probably put a long net up there.
But you didn't do that when you had a team that you wanted to run.
No, that's right. No, just on the other team.
Wolf, Kenny Smith, 3-pointer. He's got it all.
That's the problem with sagging and helping in there too much. You can't give him that 3-point shot.
Kenny Smith, who shoots only 38% on the season from that range, has his first 3. And we've got a foul on Branzino Smith.
I think it was on Curtis Hunter. I think he was overplaying and hand checking, and they called that.
You're right.
They're calling that more this year to keep people from hand checking so much.
Foul was on Hunter, his first.
There comes the trap. Every time you get the ball out of bounds against Virginia, they trap you and force the turnover.
Kenny Smith came hustling back and got a piece of it. Wolf guarded by Dislin. Hunter cut off at the baseline. Nice move by Kenny Smith to penetrate. He buries the jump shot. 5 for Kenny Smith at 18-15, North Carolina. Johnson with Callaway still recovering.
North Carolina, they're looking for the trap.
Oh, what a pass. Mel Kennedy from John Johnson.
That's a gamble. They were a game I could tell they were going to trap because they were playing in front of them, and they were planning on trapping after the first pass, but they left the guy open underneath.
Ball knocked away by Mel Kennedy. And Kennedy showing more intensity tonight than I've seen in a couple of times I've gotten to watch him earlier this year.
That was a great defensive play. Mel's got to score a little bit. He's a better scorer than he is. He's not scoring tonight. Right. He's got to get in and get him some points.
Andrew Kennedy missed that jumper. It's a 1-point ball game. Kenny Smith again in the lane. Loose ball. Carolina will come up with it. And the foul shot is good. Curtis Hunter.
Virginia's defense let Kenny Smith penetrate too deep down that time. He's got a jump shot to dotted line. They got to push him out a little bit. They got to keep Curtis Hunter and the other big guys off the board.
So far, Coach, Kenny Smith seems to be able to go anywhere he wants to go. Andrew Kennedy, the block, and knocked out of bounds. No foul, and Andrew Kennedy wanted one. J.R. Reed is coming back in, Coach, along with Lebo.
It's a good job of youngsters watching. A weak side man blocked the shot. Dave Popson goes over there and blocked the shot from the weak side and did a good job of not fouling.
Sure did. It's 2017, North Carolina. And the Virginia substitution will get Lance Blanks into the ball game, and Johnson will get a breather.
Now watch, North Carolina will trap his first pass to be ready for that because they'll make you turn the ball over if you're not careful. There's a trap right here. Now they rotate back and everybody picks up their man, but they always try to trap that first pass, and you got to be ready for it. They do an excellent job of overplaying and staying in the pass.
Lance Blanks out of the Woodlands, Texas, and Morgan in the backcourt. Running their offense a long way away from the basket.
That's North Carolina's defense is forced them to do that.
Shot clock is down to 6 seconds. Blanks has to pick up his dribble. Dislin forced to put it up. Won't go.
That's great defense by North Carolina that time. Anytime you can make them work down to 5 seconds, you're in pretty good shape.
Steve Bucknell got the last rebound. Lebo's caught up in the air and threw it away. Good job by Dislin.
And Jeff knows better than that. You shouldn't get up in the air and go a pass. If you do that, you're in trouble. You made a fundamental mistake that time.
It's a three-point ball game with 12:17 to go, first half of play. Man pass by Dislin, knocked away. Here comes Reed. And knocked away and stolen by Virginia. Great job by Morgan. This is a 1-on-4 break. He needs some help.
Two great defensive plays in a row. Bucknell made a great play.
And Andrew Kennedy fouled by Popson.
Right here, this is not all J.R. Reed's fault. Somebody should have been hollering, watch your man behind you, watch your man behind you, because he can't see behind him. That's a great steal, the hope by Richard Morgan.
Now here he had to wait for help, and Andrew Kennedy really hustled down there and got open.
Well, Popson fell asleep on defense and let his man break in front of him right there in the box, and that's why he had to foul him.
Foul on Popson is his second, so like Sheehy, he'll sit down. And Andrew Kennedy will go to the free throw line. 5 points tonight for the senior. And he hits another free throw. Joe Wolf is going to check back in for North Carolina, and Sheehy is going to come back in for Virginia.
Sheehy's got to play smart. He can't come in there and try to do foolish things and jump on people's backs and hack people and things like that. He's got to play smart, play solid, but he can't play scared. He's still got to play good basketball.
I don't think scared's in his vocabulary.
No, I know, but I'm saying he cannot play scared. No, sometimes that's afraid of anybody.
Andrew Kennedy at the line. He's had a good first half. Did not get the roll on that. What a rebound by Reed.
They are almost pop that ball and snack it so hard.
Wolf quickly down.
There's their secondary break. Back over to the weak side. Big men seal inside.
Ranzino Smith, double dribble. And Virginia will have a chance to tie. Terry Holland liked what he saw there. His team will have the basketball. When we come back, 11 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the first half of play from Charlottesville. North Carolina 20 and Virginia 18.
I run every day, and I know what happens when these roads get bad. So when I had to buy tires, I looked at them all. You know what impressed me? Michelin's all-season radial. It's called the XA4. It really holds the road. The handling's great, and because it's Michelin, you know it's going to last. Believe me, only Michelin radials are going between us and this road.
Tire-Rama, statewide coverage, hometown service. Discover America's Wit. Fun and educational games on America's great national parks. 4 games in all. 108 beautiful color photos in each game. There's nothing trivial about Wit games. Challenging questions and answers. Fun for all ages. And they make great gifts. Order any one game for $6.95 each plus $2.50 shipping and handling, or order the entire set for only $24.95 plus $3.50 shipping. Visa, MasterCard accepted. Call toll-free 1-800-423-4551, extension 547.
Mike Patrick and Lefty Driesell with you from Charlottesville, Virginia. Virginia's turned it over twice. North Carolina's only gotten 2 points out of it, though.
We're watching different styles of defense. Watch when Virginia has the ball, when North Carolina has the ball, Virginia's going to sag way off of it. Now, when Virginia has the basketball, they'll always have pressure on the basketball. For example, right now, watch Ranzino Smith going to jump all up over Johnson. There, here comes J.R. Reed. He's all over Kennedy. When they put a lot of pressure on the ball, Virginia's playing it just the opposite. They're slumping back in.
Derek Sims to Johnson, fake the shot. Down in the ball game, Tim Martin, another big man. Johnson from the perimeter won't go. Ranzino Smith with a long rebound.
There goes the break down the sideline. Back to the weak side.
JR, and he'll be hit with a technical foul. He grabbed the rim with both hands.
Well, I don't know about this, but if he's going to call it technical in the basket, ought not be any good because he grabbed on the rim before he made the basket.
That's right.
Looks like he grabbed on the rim and then the ball went in.
Yep.
So, I don't know. That's a tough call right there. There it is from another angle. It's a great high-low pass, though, in North Carolina's offense. It's a beautiful play.
Now, the ball slipped out of his hands, and Dean Smith wants the basket, which is being counted at 22-18. Sheehy will shoot the technical. Now, one hand is fine, but if you grab with two and hang on there, they're going to hit you with it, right?
Well, they'll let you hang sometime if there's somebody underneath of you and you're trying to prevent an injury. But there was no one underneath them. But I don't know. I believe I'd let that go if I'd been the official.
Now, Terry Holland is bringing up the same point, I think, that you did. He grabbed the rim before the ball went in, so are they going to count it or what?
But then you look at it the other way. He did shoot the ball before he grabbed the rim.
Active shooting.
So we have to bring in Fred Bearcat on that one. I don't know. But
Well,
they are counting, I think. Right?
Yes, they did. Terry has obviously lost that argument. It's a three-point game, but Virginia has the basketball.
Yeah, watch North Carolina's pressure on the ball. There's a trap. Virginia's got to handle that right there. I'm sure Curry's worked against that because that's their...
Mel Kennedy missed the shot, and Williams gets the rebound. Another solid freshman.
Oh, he's no big business. There's a trailer right there, and they'll hit that. They practice that. That's a part of their sideline break. They bring the ball down the sideline, and they look for the trailer right there, and the big men work on that shot.
Williams has his first 2 points, and it's 24-19, the biggest Virginia, or the biggest North Carolina lead, excuse me.
You got to kill the clock a little bit, man. Be patient and get a good one.
Now, Martin.
Go ahead, Joe. I said they got a couple subs in there right now, so they ought to take their time, see if they can do a good shot.
And Sims had the ball knocked out of his hand. The ball will go out to Virginia, or out to North Carolina, off of Virginia, and Scott Williams will knock it in. He was the man who blocked it.
Well, Sims tried to pull up and shoot over 6'10" guy. That's not real smart, you know. Should have taken their time a little bit more and gotten a real good shot because they need to score right now. They're going to fall a little bit too far behind.
And they'll get Sims out of the ballgame right away as John Johnson checks back in. Mel Kennedy comes out.
It looks like Virginia might be going to its own right here. Let's see what they do when it comes down. That's their triangle or their diamond in one. Right? They got a man on Kenny Smith, man for man, and the other people in the triangle. One at the top of the key, one on the baseline, and two on the box.
And Lebo traveled. 24-19, a 5-point lead.
Lebo had to hit a jump shot, and I guess Curry figures, well, we'll make him shoot. He's not going to give Kenny Smith a shot. He's going to play the other guys at home.
Well, that's tough to pick which one of those guys you don't want to shoot.
I know that's what he said. Well, I think he can switch back and forth when he's playing.
A lot of contact inside right now. Here's Sheehy, goes baseline, little jumper, got it. Sheehy needs to be in there and out of foul trouble. He's got to score for the Cavaliers.
There's a break again, right back to the high post, man, back over.
Travel. Lebo was trying to draw the foul, and Lebo doesn't want to give up that basketball after something happens. He wants to hang on to that ball, prevent Virginia from pushing it up. A couple of guys have taken a swipe at it, and Lebo hadn't cared for it.
Well, I think he thought he got fouled, and he gave a little head fake, and he was going to drive. The guy hit him some, he probably knocked him off balance.
Morgan, who threw it past Dislin, he can't save it.
There again, you got a guard jumping up in the air trying to throw the ball, and you get in trouble. You got to stay on your feet.
And Morgan was staring holes through Dislin. Terry Holland telling Morgan, hey, you can't throw that pass.
They're going to stay with their diamond and run one right now.
North Carolina taking their time getting the ball in as Joe Forte is checking something over the official scorer's table. What we're not sure of. There's 9:42 to go. Now they're saying the shot clock has been malfunctioning.
Well, nobody's held it that long anyway, so
No,
forget about
that's
it.
right. Yeah. What do you think of that rule? You like the shot clock?
I love it, yes. That was too long. Make it 24
you wanted 24.
15 seconds would be good for me.
Lebo.
There's a diamond in one. See, now Lebo's going to get some shots there. There's a nice pick for him.
J.R. Reed. Boy, Morgan got him on the wrist. The basket counts, and Morgan will be called for the foul.
He's so strong, he grabbed his arm and still put it in there. And this is the problem with your diamond. You let J.R. Reed get that ball inside, and he's strong and tough. He's got a great turnaround jump shot. He's going to be a super play.
Reed now has 10.8 points a game as an average. All 5 starters are in double figures. Ranzino Smith coming off the bench is also in double figures. And that's tremendous balance.
Well, Dean told me the only team he's ever had is had 6 people averaging double figures. I only had 1 in my coaching career. If you could do that, you're in good shape.
Andrew Kempe makes it a 26-23 game.
Watch the break. There goes the break.
And it's a blocking foul called against Virginia. Dislin wanted the charge and didn't get it. And Terry Holland really upset about the call.
North Carolina is hurting Virginia. Every time Virginia scores, they push the ball up and they're hurting them. Virginia's got to get back quickly. They're celebrating too much when they score back.
I don't know about this one, Coach.
Well, let's watch it and see.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, he might have run up under him. You know, you got to be there. I thought he maybe ran up under him a little bit. Looks like a pretty good call to me. So you and me are going to argue a little bit.
I'll argue with Al. I'll argue on you with Al. 4 points for Thompson tonight. It's that one. Another 3-point play. Curtis Hunter will come back in for North Carolina.
It's nice to see Popson having a good year. The kid has worked real hard. He sat on the bench. He's had a good attitude, and well, a few tempers flaring. That'll happen in the Carolina-Virginia game. There's nothing wrong with it. They've been going out after the game and talking to each other, having a good time.
Looked like J.R. Reed and Mel Kennedy. Hey, you want to challenge J.R. Reed out there, you got a lot of courage.
You know, this time last year, Mel Kennedy and J.R. Reed were big friends because they were recruiting.
29-23, a 6-point North Carolina lead. Here comes the trap. And the pass intercepted by Reed. They were looking for Sheehy.
That's what you don't want to do. When you see the trap coming, you got to make sure you throw a short pass, throw it to someone coming to meet the basketball. Don't throw a cross-court pass like that.
Curtis Hunter missed the last one. John Johnson tried to make something happen. Morgan. This one won't go. Ball knocked out of bounds. It's out to North Carolina.
Too quick. I don't think Virginia can come down and shoot the ball like that against North Carolina's big front line.
Well, Morgan doesn't take much time. Lebo for 3. Boy, you just can't leave him alone out there.
That's the break. That's the quick. I call it a quick break. They're getting it up quick and they're shooting, and Virginia's not set.
32-23. North Carolina starting to stretch it out a little bit.
There's a trap.
Nice feed to Sheehy. Shot wouldn't go for him, and Reed with a rebound.
Well, I think Tom was so open that time he didn't know what to do with it.
Hunter surprised Wolf inside, and then Wolf buries it, and the lead goes to 11.
That was a good timeout by Curry. Get them settled down, and they got to slow the tempo down. And they've also got to get back in transition. North Carolina's hurting them in transition.
There's a timeout on the court with 8:10 to go. North Carolina over Virginia 34-23.
To America's best as they look to Australia and the America's Cup Challenge.
While some still believe you can't take it with you, those who've driven the new Mitsubishi wagon know just the opposite to be true. Now not only can you take it with you, but you can do so with a remarkable combination of style, spacious comfort, and versatility. The new Mitsubishi wagon, patiently crafted so you can take it all with you. Or better yet, so you can leave it all behind. Mitsubishi.
Play where Sheehy missed a shot. This is the kind of thing that makes coaches lose their hair, doesn't it?
That was great penetration by Johnson. He dished it off to Sheehy coming in. He's wide open. I think he was worried about somebody blocking his shot. Then North Carolina gets the rebound. And Virginia was slow getting back on defense, and the worst part about it is they got scored on.
Cavaliers digging themselves a hole right now. It's 34-23. There are the field goal percentages. And North Carolina making 50% more shots than Virginia.
think Terry told him just what I said. Take your time, slow it down, get a good one. Still got 19 seconds. There's a good shot. He's on balance. Nobody a hand in his face. That was a good shot. That's what they got to do. Here comes a quick break again. Right down the sideline. Back to the man at the top of the key.
Reed. Hunter with a follow.
But he had great rebound position.
The announcers of this game are approved and selected by Raycom Sports, Jefferson Pilot Teleproductions. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, duplication, or reception without the express written permission of Raycom Sports, Jefferson Pilot Teleproductions is prohibited. It's 36-25, North Carolina by 11.
Watch North Carolina overplay the passing lanes, run the big men inside. That's not the kind of shot you want.
Now
It was all balanced and
sort of short on that one up there.
He was, there's a trailer on a break.
Wolf missed that one in the rebound of Morgan. Quickly, Sheehy lost control, got it back with a jump hook.
He had a chance to go one-on-one that time, took him one-on-one, made a good move, but they better hurry and get back because here comes North Carolina, wide open jumper. Right down in the corner, that's where they like to take the ball on their break.
Now, if you know this and Terry knows this and his players know that, how come North Carolina gets to do it every time?
Well, I don't know because they're pretty good at it.
Yes, they are. 38-27. Johnson cut off at the pass. Got to watch the 5-second count. Andrew Kennedy thought somebody was behind him, and there wasn't anybody home.
It wasn't all his fault. Nobody broke to the basketball. Everybody stayed away from the ball. The rest of the Virginia players, when they see him get hung up in the corner like that, they got to break to the ball. It wasn't really all.
Carolina with the lead on Virginia. Let's leave the ACC for just a second and get to the Big Ten because number 8, Illinois, doing a number on number 2, Iowa. Let's join Wayne Larrivee and Steve Grody live in Champaign at the Assembly Hall for an update. The 15-game Hawkeye streak from Jeopardy.
Wayne Larrivee and Steve Grody at the Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois. The Iowa Hawkeyes second ranked in the nation on the downside of the scoreboard at the moment. These are the Hawkeyes with the dark uniforms on the attack.
And Illinois into a 2-3 zone, Wayne, the first time in the ball game.
Armstrong from deep. Lohaus had the rebound for a moment. It was tipped away, and Cody Y cleans up for the Fighting Illini. Weisinger. Picked up by Gamble. He's had an outstanding night as Tony Weisinger. 29 points so far in the ball game. We still have 7:24 left to go. This is Doug Altenberger. Good feed. Kuyava. Nice fake on Lohaus. Back outside Altenberger.
Good decision-making right there by the big guy inside.
Norman the Snake on the turn. Horton cleans up on the boards. Lost the handle, but did not dribble. Now here come the Hawkeyes. Armstrong fires and connects.
And I'll tell you what, Armstrong, that's the third occasion where he's just brought the ball down the floor, made a good move, pulled up and hit a big jump shot.
The lead has shrunk to 10 points now for the Fighting Illini. They led by 17 at the half.
I've been very impressed in the second half. On the couple occasions when Iowa's tried to make a run, Illinois has come up with a couple big baskets and stopped the charge.
Hawkeyes can cut it to 8. This is Horton. They tie up Marble on the rebound. Kuyava and Marble. Jump ball indication. And on the alternating possession, it'll belong to Iowa.
So often you see in a ball game when a team that has the big double-digit lead, if they are unable to put the opponent away in the second half, they are susceptible to a change of momentum. I feel like Illinois, just like they were when we did them against Northwestern Saturday, is in that same position. They're getting a little tired. The defensive pressure has begun to take its toll. I think they are in somewhat of a susceptible position right now.
Iowa trailing by 10. 6.5 minutes left to go in the game. You're watching the Hawkeyes on offense.
I think the other point needs to be made is when you have been trailing the entire ball game, you like to take the lead with just a couple minutes left in the game. That way you don't have to sustain that effort over a long period of time. You can ride the momentum through the end of the ball game.
Altenberger thought he had it for Illinois. Iowa basketball. The other thing we're seeing here is the Fighting Illini playing more zone in the second half as it wears on. Is that a result of foul difficulties, or is that a result of getting tired and playing that man-to-man defense that you just can't play it as well?
Lou Henson told me that they would play strictly man-to-man in this ball game. I think that they're a little bit tired. That's why they've gone to the zone.
Foul, a blocking foul on Altenberger. And Horton will head to the line. It works going to get another look at this one.
Again, Marble has not been that active offensively in this game. We mentioned earlier, I felt like he had to put the ball on the floor, be a little more creative, score some points for his ball club. That's always a difficult call inside like that.
And Horton shooting at 52% from the free throw stripe, a two-shot foul. He can cut the deficit, though, to 9. And Tom Davis watching on the Iowa bench. Second by Ed Horton.
Iowa, number 2 in the country, has won 15 in a row. They've knocked it down inside double digits. We will have an update at halftime, but now we're going to get you from Champaign back live to our primary game tonight in Charlottesville. Carolina and UVA. Virginia at home. Mike Patrick and Lefty Drizel on the game.
Bucknall is back in. Curtis Hunter is out. Kenny Smith to the line where he shoots 85.7%. He hasn't had enough free throws to qualify for the lead in the conference, which is held by his teammate Joe Wolf. Not listed in the top 10 because he doesn't have the minimum number of free throws.
Well, I've never agreed with that. You know, if a guy's a starter, I don't care how many he shoots, he ought to be in the statistics.
Smith misses this one. Mel Kennedy with a rebound.
You talked him out of that one, bragging about it.
Don't say that. I hear that too much. I get letters. Johnson guarded by Rancino. Smith, an 11-point ball game at the 5-minute mark. Andrew Kennedy likes that spot. And Dislin had the rebound, and it was knocked out of his hands, out of bounds to North Carolina.
I still think Virginia's got to take a little more time.
Now, is the purpose of that twofold? You're looking for the best shot, and you're also looking to take some time off the clock.
Well, and you got to get your rebounders in position. You know, you got to give your rebounders time to think about rebounding, get in position. Otherwise, you're not going to get any second shot.
Here's a whistle away from the ball. It's on Dislin. That'll be his second. Virginia getting in some foul trouble. Sheehy already on the bench with threes. We see Tom, number 22, shaking his head.
The North Carolina plays constant motion. The guys are moving all the time. If you're not careful, you'll run into a pick and foul one of them.
Williams at the line where he only shoots 58% on the season. J.R. Reed with an offensive rebound, and Lebo looked to pass and then decides to shoot. Good decision.
Very good. Great rebound. That should never happen. You shouldn't get second shots on missed free throw. Somebody didn't block J.R. out there.
42-29. The lead is 13. Johnson cut off by Rancino. Smith. Morgan over Lebo. And Reed. Boy, does he get up.
I'm telling you.
No wonder you went to see him so many times.
He'd make a good coach out of it.
Lebo banks one up, draws the foul. Did a good job on that, and Morgan has 3.
Well, Virginia's forcing their shots now.
This is Lebo.
Lebo penetrating, good pump fake. He drew that foul. You know, he went up, and I'd tell you the best in the game at that is Adrian Dantley. But he gave him a little ball fake, leaned into him, shot it, got him two free throws. Smart play on Jeff Lebo's part.
Here's another guy who makes most of them, 82.1% from the line.
But he's got great form for the youngsters watching the game. Watch his wrist go down after he shoots the ball. His dad's a high school coach in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and he's got perfect form on his jump shot, his free throws.
44-29, the biggest lead for North Carolina. It's at 15 now with 4:09 to go in the half.
Here comes the trap.
Sims in the ballgame, gets it to Andrew Kennedy, and they'll set up the offense. Johnson travels. Virginia looks a little flustered right now, Coach.
Yeah, they are. They can't panic right now. They've just got to, you know, try to cut this lead in half. They're trying to get it all back at one time, and you can't do that. You've got to just take your time and knock it down. See if they can knock it down to 8 or something before the half.
Timeout, 3:58 to go. It's a 15-point North Carolina lead. Back after this.
Should you ever drive from Paris to Dakar, we'd suggest a Mitsubishi Montero. Montero's won the Paris to Dakar Rally 4 years straight, so it knows the shortcuts. But should you stay closer to home, you can still enjoy Montero's 2.6 liters, the independence of four-wheel drive, and the crafting of its civilized interior. Because you don't need a road rally to enjoy Montero. just an impulsive imagination. Mitsubishi.
The Great American Face. Strong, sensitive. The Great American Razor. Atra Plus. Solid. With a Lubricant Smooth Strip for extra protection. The Great American Face deserves the Great American Shave. Atra Plus. Only from Gillette.
California Cooler reminds you, when the going gets tough, the tough go indoors. California Cooler, official drink of the indoor party season.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Virginia trailing North Carolina. And, Coach, I know throughout your career, I don't know if any one of your teams was ever out-rebounded over the whole year, but you really put a lot of stock in it.
Well, that's where you win basketball games. Right now, the rebounding war is North Carolina 18, Virginia 7, and that's the difference in the ball game.
Reed forced it up in the lane and won't go, and the rebound is Dislin. Dislin doing a pretty credible job in there. And there's the bench. North Carolina, of course, much deeper than Virginia in that category.
North Carolina staying with their overplay man for man and trapping when they have an opportunity and fronting the post man inside, doing a good job defensively.
Sims had to pick up a dribble a long way away from the basket.
And North Carolina gets right up on you when you have that basketball. They'll chest up to you and put a lot of pressure on the basketball.
Johnson forced that one up. He'll draw the foul. Butnoff commits the personal. That'll be his first.
North Carolina, Virginia's taking the ball to the baseline a lot. I'd like to see him get some shots out front. And it seems to me that they're taking the ball to the baseline, shooting all their shots along the baseline. That way they're not getting good rebound position. Although he drew a foul on that.
Johnson, an 81% shooter, will go to the line. Got some excellent free throw shooters this ball.
Well, everybody in the ACC shoots good free throws. Seems like when you're sitting on a bench, you never miss them. Opponents anyway.
Johnson hits this one, 44-30. North Carolina's biggest lead has been 15. 5 points for Johnson on the night.
Now, Virginia's got to do something a little different to get back in this ball game. I looked around, they didn't press. I thought they made press or something right along.
44-31 with 3, make it 11 to go.
Joe Wolf, he can't give him that ball right there.
Working on Dislin.
Good ball movement. There's the shot. That's Joe's shot right there.
Wolf over Dislin. Ball kept alive. Sims got it kicked outside. North Carolina with possession. 3 for Smith.
That was 2.
No, I'm sorry. He must have touched the edge of the line.
I think he said 2 on that.
46-31.
If he'd have jumped back about a half inch, he'd have had 3.
That's right. I've seen players do that this year. They look down, find a line, and step back.
Oh, I've seen Larry Bird dribble outside.
That's right.
That thing.
Yeah, but he's Larry Bird.
That's true. But our line's a little closer.
Yes, it is. Andrew Kennedy with good position underneath. He likes that baseline. Yep. Andrew Kennedy has a dozen. He's keeping Virginia in it on offense. 46-33.
Virginia's got to hold them 2 or 3 straight times and then score if they're going to get back in the ball game.
North Carolina's gotten excellent shots in the first half. Here they rare turnovers. They toss it out of bounds.
Well, they were lucky then because Wolf had him posted up right there on the box. If he'd have got it, he could have dunked it and shot a little jump hook.
Ranzino Smith and Curtis Hunter come back in that rotation that Dean Smith runs over there.
Yeah, Virginia can score here and cut it back to 9 and get it down to 8 before the half. They'll be all right. They'll be back in the ball game, but they got to take their time. Yeah, North Carolina's going to his zone for the first time tonight.
Sims and the zone buster Morgan is not in there right now.
Well, that might have been one reason they went to it.
Sims didn't do badly.
Not a bad Sims.
That's right. 46-35. They've cut it to 11. A minute 37 left. And Sims works on Lebo. Ranzino Smith around a good screen from Reed. Shot wouldn't go, though. Dislin had his hand on it. I think they'd like Dislin to have some more upper body strength because he hasn't been able to hold on to the ball as he gets his hands on.
Right. Well, he's stronger than he was last year.
Yeah.
But he still needs to get a little upper body strength. Now, Virginia's got to get a good one right here. I said 9 last time. They expected 9 this time. Take your time.
Kennedy almost traveled and threw it away. Lebo behind the shoulder to Reed, and and it's an offensive foul on J.R. Reed. Let's see if the basket counts. No basket.
Well, this was a great pass by Lebo, but then again, maybe he should have taken it on in there himself and at least gotten 2 free throws, but he passed it back, and it was a good call.
And the contact was before the shot. That's whether you determine the basket being
Great
good.
defensive play.
Sure was. Sims got back there, did the only thing he could. Stand in front of Reeves like stand in front of a train.
I'm telling you, it takes a lot of courage. Sure does.
We're down to 1:03 as you see the clock superimposed on your screen. Sims threw that one right to Curtis Hunter.
And forced that inside.
Wide open is Ranzino. Hunter double pump. Boy, did he have that one swatted back by Andrew Kennedy.
Great block. Well, let's see if Virginia can take advantage of it. They've got to take advantage of those breaks.
Johnson can't get it. They kept it alive. Follow no good by Mel Kennedy. And here comes Lebo. Three-pointer.
Oh, smart. That's the easiest shot on the court. He pulled right up and stuck it, and that's beautiful. I love that three-point play.
10 for Lebo. It's certainly the easiest shot on the court for him, I'll tell you.
Well, right there at the top of the key, in my opinion, is the easiest shot on the basketball court, particularly for 3 points.
We'll see if Virginia tries to hold for the last shot. Reed went for the steal. They get it inside, and Martin gets the bucket, and he's fouled by Joe Wolf, who got there a little late. And Tim Martin, the redshirt sophomore from Ridgeway, Virginia, gets his first 2.
That's North Carolina's defense. They trap on the weak side. They trap. Virginia gets the ball back to the weak side, and he gets a 3-point play. They just gambled on it and made it come up with a steal and got the layup.
Martin is a load at 6'11", 249. He's a redshirt sophomore. Doesn't play very much. Averages a little over 2 points a game.
He's from Martinsville, Virginia. Played at Drury Mason High School and won the state championship when he was in high school.
Missed a free throw, but Kennedy gets the rebound. They took it away from him. 3-on-1 break. Ranzino Smith to Kenny Smith.
Beautiful pass.
51-37, and Virginia unable to get back down court before the clock expires. And that's the end of the first half here in University Hall in Charlottesville. Our score, North Carolina 51, the University of Virginia 37.
Tar Heels number 3 team in the country. They play that passing game oh so well. Now the number 2 team in the country, Iowa, has trailed by as many as 22 points tonight at Illinois. Illinois number 8 in the country. Just a few moments, we'll be going there live because it is down to a 1-point game in Champaign. We'll get a live report. Back we go to Assembly Hall. We're at halftime right now. The Tar Heels got the lead on the Cavaliers. We'll have a report next.
You're putting on too much pepperoni and sausage, mushrooms and cheese. Yeah. How much?
It was the very first pizza emergency.
What is your trip, man?
It was the day of the combo.
Godfather's Pizza!
The original combo with 6 toppings. Too much of everything.
It's too much, man.
The original combo at Godfather's Pizza. What are you waiting for?
Let's hear what consumers say about Consumer's Choice.
We found that Consumer Choice has the best price in town, and the quality of the merchandise is great. We've had no problems with any of it, and we've bought several items here, and the service people are very cordial, and we appreciate that.
The salespeople are knowledgeable. I got a great deal. The stereo sounds great, and they even sent me a thank you.
While some still believe you can't take it with you, those who've driven the new Mitsubishi wagon know just the opposite to be true. Now not only can you take it with you, but you can do so with a remarkable combination of style, spacious comfort, and versatility. The new Mitsubishi wagon, patiently crafted so you can take it all with you. Or better yet, so you can leave it all behind. Mitsubishi.
No one really knows how your skin got sensitive. But if it is, try the shave cream with more advanced lubricants than any other. New Gillette Foamy for sensitive skin.
California Cooler reminds you, when the going gets tough, the tug go indoors. California Cooler, official drink of the indoor party season.
ESPN's college basketball, North Carolina and Virginia. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors. Experience the sensation of the full line of new cars and trucks from Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi, perfecting the experience. Number 3, North Carolina has opened up a 51-37 halftime lead at Virginia. We have got a tight one, though, in the Big Ten. Number 2, Iowa. Number 8, Illinois. Let's join Wayne Larrabee and Steve Grody.
Gamble on the rebound off the miss by Steve Pardo. And the Hawkeyes in Illini will talk things over with a minute 14 left to be played of the ball game. The Fighting Illini have lost a 20-point lead. Iowa right back in it has tied the game. Momentum has been on the...
We're going back, I promise you. That's what I call it, live television. 1:14 to go and an 81-81 tie. In the meantime, let's get you caught up on your top 20 scores tonight. Purdue, no trouble. The Boilermakers at home, beating Minnesota 86-59. Purdue is now 5-0 in conference, and that's long now a final, 86-59, so forget that halftime score. Tennessee and Auburn at Auburn, and right now into the second half, Tennessee leads that game by 1 point. Clemson, an easy winner tonight over Furman, 94-77. St. John's in a mismatch. They got out the subway tokens tonight. Went over to Brooklyn College, and the Redmen win it 70-48. St. John's is now 11-2 on the season. Duke is visiting Maryland while Lefty does color on our game. That's a final now. Duke wins at 85-61, and the Blue Devils are now 12-2 overall. They have a 2-1 conference record. Pittsburgh and Seton Hall, a doubleheader at the Meadowlands tonight, and number 18 Pittsburgh and Seton Hall are tied at 45-45. That game has gone to half in East Rutherford. Navy struggled, and you shouldn't struggle if you're number 19 in the country against Lafayette. 75-71 final score, as Navy is now 10-3 on the season. We'll be getting back now to that game between number 2 Iowa and number 8 Illinois. The Illini are 4-0 in conference. Iowa 3-0. The Illini have that 12-2 overall record. Again, we're at halftime of the North Carolina game with Virginia. Carolina leading comfortably, but we've got a tie game. Let's get back to Champaign with 74 seconds to play. Wayne Larrabee.
Hawkeye basketball. Brad Lohaus on the inbounds. We're at Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois. Full court pressure now by Illinois. The Hawks look to take it across. T.J. Thomas, number 10. B.J. Armstrong, it should say. Thinking of the singer. Kevin Gamble, now they work it to right.
And again, Iowa, over the last 5 minutes, has looked exclusively inside, either with the drive to the basket or players posting up inside. I would expect that's what they'll be looking for in this situation.
Gary Wright looking to work the deal on Hamilton and lost it out of play. Crucial turnover with 43 seconds remaining in the score tied.
Count them now, 15 turnovers for Iowa, Illinois 8 in the ballgame.
Points off turnovers, 16 for Illinois. Hard to believe, only 2 for Iowa.
Well, we've just seen so many contrasting statistics. You've got Iowa outscoring Illinois by about 14 points at the free throw line. You've got Illinois with a wide advantage in the three-point field goal area. The spread there was 21-3 at halftime. You can see the differential in the turnover. So we've seen
43 seconds in this game. We'll be getting right back to it, and of course, very possibly, could be just one more shot coming in this game for the Illini as Sir Jamelant loses it out of bounds. That's our game. We'll be getting back to it eventually, but then we'll be getting first back to the game between Iowa and Illinois right after this.
The automakers waited, watched, wondered. Then the automotive press confirmed their suspicions.
The engine is a delight, with a smooth power delivery bordering on the mystical. Acura Legend establishes the target at which all future cars in the $20,000 class must aim.
The Acura Legend. From a new division of American Honda, exclusively at your Acura dealer.
Just
good news is...
Dr. Slattery? Yeah, doctor, what's your problem?
Richard Pryor's playing doctor.
What is the bad news?
He has no experience
Right about that.
in treating patients,
Oh, it hurts all over. Doctor, calm.
making house calls, and going on rounds. Richard Pryor's in critical condition. Rated R. Starts Friday, January 16th at a theater near you.
An investment firm is only as impressive as it is responsive.
Good to go.
So when interest rates fell, we looked for new ways for our clients to make money and developed unique opportunities like the Prudential Real Estate Investment Trust, a first of its kind in a way to take advantage of changing markets. While others may imitate it, we're busy surpassing it. If anyone can show you bold new thinking in the business of making money, let's close it. It's Prudential Bache, rock solid, market-wise.
They have just missed the Fighting Illini a 1-1. Iowa's got the ball. That's the time in this game. Number 2 and number 8 in the country. Wayne Larrivee live in Champaign.
Iowa on the attack. This is B.J. Armstrong. Gamble back to Armstrong.
Well, Blackwell almost double team. I don't think you want to do that.
No shot clock now.
Play straight up defense in this situation.
10 seconds to go. Down to 7 seconds. Time winding down. Armstrong on the force. Off the glass. Altenberger fires it late to the floor. At the buzzer. We will go to overtime. The Fighting Illini of Illinois and the Iowa Hawkeyes tied at 81.
So they're going to be paying a little bit of overtime tonight. We'll be getting back live, we promise you, for the conclusion of that game. 81-81 at the end of regulation between number 2 Iowa and number 8 Illinois. We're at halftime with a game between North Carolina and Virginia. Number 3 North Carolina leads the game 51-33. Good evening. I'm Bob Lee. It has been a full evening. Earlier tonight we saw Jacksonville with a victory in just about overtime. Went right down to the nub, and finally free throws were the difference. Let's get you caught up on some other scores. South Carolina tonight, the first game of 2. At the Meadowlands, an easy win over Iona, 75-50. That game I told you about, Jacksonville over Western Kentucky, 80-71, as the Dolphins now remain undefeated. Jacksonville does in the Sun Belt Conference. That's your final score. Ohio U and the MAC, a 2-point win over Kent State tonight, 80-78. Richmond Spiders at home, a win over Virginia Tech, 77-62 final. Georgia Tech against North Carolina A&T, defeating the Aggies, 83-67. Central Michigan over Miami of Ohio easily, 82-58 final score. Western Michigan by a deuce over the Cardinals of Ball State, who were a tournament team last year, 62-60. Miami of Florida back to 500 with a win over Maryland Eastern Shore, 88-66. Kentucky gets a win in the SEC, and they have not been automatic this year. Florida played them tight tonight at Rupp. 5-point win for the Wildcats. Iowa State in the Big 8, a victory over Colorado by that 14-point margin. It was Georgia and Vanderbilt in the SEC. The Dogs win it by that 23-point spread, 76-53. Connecticut and Providence. This game is a track meet right now, and the Friars have a 16-point lead. This game has taken a long time to play in the Big East Conference. Eastern Michigan, a winner over Toledo tonight by 6, 67-61. Southwest Conference, Arkansas at home, 10 points the better over Rice, 64-54. Louisville playing down in Hattiesburg against Southern Mississippi, and look at that, the Golden Eagles lead it by 1. That's in the second half in the Metro. Back to the SEC for Ole Miss and Mississippi State, a 5-point lead now for the Bulldogs in Starkville, and TCU and SMU also in the Southwest Conference, a 1-point lead for the Mustangs. So we've got Carolina in our game. We're at halftime. Carolina comfortably leading. We'll be getting back for overtime live updates with Iowa and Illinois tied at 81. College basketball on ESPN.
Where's Stacy? She borrowed the car.
Stacy took our new Volkswagen?
Mm-hmm. She needed the Golf.
Doesn't she know that's our family car?
Of course. She knows how practical it is.
I hope so.
She knows what the Golf is for.
That's what worries me. We expect our new Volkswagen to last as long as the last one.
Oh, she just went to collect some marine specimens for school. You understand that?
All too well.
Excuse me. Can I help you?
I'm not sure. I'm looking for the perfect TV. A 27-inch with black matrix, 110-degree angle of deflection, computer-accurate digital access tuning, 178 channels, built-in stereo decoder, and it's got to have infrared remote control that runs the TV, cable, and VCR, even if they're different brands. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. You want a Magnavox.
The perfect picture, the perfect remote. Nobody puts it together like Magnavox.
If you just ask for a light beer, give me a light. You never know what you'll get.
Thoughts? No, actually, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light.
Yours? No.
Because everything else...
Give me a light. Showtime!
...is just a light.
You know, young man, when you came along, your mom and I had to give up one hot little sports car. Now, can you see Daddy with some big station wagon with wood on the side? No. You know what's under there? A German-engineered fuel-injected engine. It goes vroom.
This is where your stroller and playpen go. Come on, let's go.
I'm not going to trade in my driving gloves for dishpan hands.
ESPN's college basketball, North Carolina and Virginia. Brought to you by Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just a light. And by Volkswagen, the 1987 German-engineered Volkswagens and your Volkswagen dealer. And by the financial professionals at Payne Weber Incorporated. When Carolina and Virginia get finished, we're going live down under for an update on the America's Cup today, a lay day, but that's upcoming in about 11 Eastern time as the game permits. Tomorrow night, more doubleheader action, Kansas and Oklahoma. These two teams know each other very well in the Big 8 Conference. That's our first game, and Wake Forest and North Carolina State. We'll be getting back for a live report in overtime with Iowa and Illinois, but now back to Mike Patrick and the left-hander, Charles Drizel.
Mike Patrick and Lefty Drizel. We're in Charlottesville University Hall, where the Cavaliers of Virginia are trailing North Carolina 51-37. Coach, what do you think Virginia has to do in the second half?
But they can't let them score 51 points again, that's for sure. I mean, they've got to get back and they've got to make it a half-court game. If things gotten too much up and down the court, and they've got to get in a half-court game right now. They want to cut it down, cut the lead in half, cut it down to 8 points, 7 points, call a timeout, and get back in the ball game.
Take a look at the Piedmont halftime stats. The one thing that really stands out there, outside of the shooting percentages with the field goals and the three-pointers, the rebounds. I guess statistically, it's all been North Carolina.
Well, that's right. And, you know, North Carolina shot 65% that half, but a lot of them were layups on the end of the fast break or easy jumpers. So they've got to turn it into a half-court game. It's been too much up and down the court for Virginia to stay in the ball game with North Carolina. If they're going to get in it, and it's their ball right now, they've got a chance to cut it to 12, but they've got to take their time and get a good shot.
Take a look at the leading scorers for both ball clubs, and you can see the balance that North Carolina has. 29 points from 3 guys. Andrew Kennedy, the only one in double figures for Virginia.
Well, but the force, his name's not up there, but J.R. Reed's the guy. He's a force inside.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's done a good job on the boards for him, although he hadn't scored that many points.
See what Reed does have in the first half. 6 total points, but he's got 5 rebounds. And he is a physical presence on that court. Virginia's ball as we start the final 20 minutes, a 14-point ball game. North Carolina's biggest lead has been 15.
North Carolina back in there overplaying man-for-man defense. A lot of pressure on the basketball when the man catches it. See him chest right up to him.
Good. They get it low to Andrew Kennedy. Double pump shot wouldn't go, but he did draw the foul.
Well, there's that big height inside. You know, he scared him and he double pumped and made him miss it. There's a great bounce pass inside. Good move. You see, he double pumped and Popson made him miss the ball. He should have gone up strong and tried to get the free throw play.
That was the 3rd personal foul on Popson. Remember, Sheehy for Virginia and Morgan for Virginia are already working with 3. Andrew Kennedy hits the free throw.
The problem is it won't hurt if Popson goes out as much as it will if Sheehy or Morgan.
Sure.
That's where you bench him.
Got all those horses you just turn around and throw in there.
I'm telling you.
Morgan way strong in the second with a Wolf for the rebound. North Carolina with a 13-point lead in the ball. That's that secondary break,
Secondary break right back to the weak side. Now they don't have anything. Now they'll set up for offense. See that Virginia can do that. I think it can get back in the ball game. You can't let JR get it right there.
Popson, what a tip-in.
Great tip-in.
Holy cow, what a play by Popson. He has 7.
Somebody didn't block him out. I don't know who his man was, but Terry will tell him about it tomorrow when they're watching the film.
Andrew Kennedy, guarded by Popson. That was Mel Kennedy, excuse me. Now it's Andrew Kennedy. Now Morgan. Sheehy had it knocked away by Reed. Johnson got it back. Here's Lebo ahead to Kenny Smith. Well, you make a mistake against them, they just kill you.
Well, see, I give North Carolina's defense credit for that. They scored the basket down here. I mean, they were aggressive. They made them turn the ball over, and that's what makes them a tough ball club.
Their defense always scores a lot of points.
Yeah, that's right.
55.
Now watch, the Eagles have a hard time because he's chesting up to it. Everybody's overplaying.
5 seconds.
They got to come to meet the basketball. They know that's going to happen. I like to have a man in the middle of the court at the free throw line, one back at half court, one on the weak side, and one down on the box. Then you know exactly where they are.
This is North Carolina's biggest lead at 55-38. Green in the lane, a little short. Andrew Kennedy with a rebound.
Well, JR was off balance that time. He won't miss that shot very often, but he was off balance. He was leaning. And they got to take their time.
Mel Kennedy fouled by Ward.
Mel Kennedy
2 on Wolf.
Mel Kennedy hasn't given Virginia anything offensively tonight. He's a good offensive player. He used to hurt us last year. There's a good move by him going to the hole. Wolf gets him with the body, and he's got to get in the offense a little bit and get some baskets.
Coach, he's only averaging 12 points a game, and I thought he was going to be a lot better than that this year.
Yeah, but he hadn't got, what's that tonight? I don't know what he has tonight, but it's not very much.
See what Mel Kennedy has tonight? Only has 2.
He had 2, so he's way behind schedule.
Hits this one. 55-39. Virginia had the lead early in this ball game at 7-4.
Yeah, watch North Carolina push the ball up the court quickly now.
Free throw good again, 55-40.
There he is in the corner. Not open. Hayes will swing it back to the trailer. You see, Wolf a lot of time to shoot that shot right there.
Kenny Smith for 3. Oh.
I love that play. Because you see, if Morgan had been up on him, he wouldn't have been able to take that thing. It makes you play good defense.
Kenny Smith with 15 points. I agree with you. I think it's a great role. I'd like to see it come out under the foot. And the foul on Lebo. No. Offensive foul or a 5-second call. I'm not sure.
You know what I think?
5 seconds.
What I think it'll do too, Mike, it'll make your younger players better outside shooters. I know before the rule was in, all coaches, including myself, they get the ball inside. Don't shoot the jumper outside. Get it inside.
Right.
Now you've got to tell them to take those 3-pointers if you're going to win.
And it also makes coaches look at those high school shooting guards who don't do a lot of other things. It's a 20-point.
We're leaving Charlottesville just for a second with Carolina in firm control. We are in overtime in our Big Ten game. Number 2, Iowa, number 8, Illinois. Inside now, the last 2 minutes of the overtime. Let's get back to Champaign. Wayne Larrabee?
Tony Weisinger, the 5th defender back on the floor for Illinois. It is Iowa basketball. Armstrong the backcourt with Kevin Gamble. Lohaus, Marble the forwards. Horton the center. Horton takes the inbound. Gamble forced to work the ball, and he's fouled right away by Blackwell.
That was
second personal on Blackwell. Unnecessary foul.
That was not in the game plan.
No.
That was not in the
did
game
not
plan.
diagram that. And on the inbound, you will foul here. No, that was not quite there. Illinois leading by a point. But those things happen.
Oh, yeah, and it's very difficult in a high-pressure game to fault aggressive defensive play.
Gamble missing on the free throw. Blackwell up high for the rebound. This is Tony Weisinger. What a ball game this has been.
Well, Illinois should get 2 possessions and Iowa 1 if they run the clock correctly.
Kenny Norman takes it right back outside, as you saw. Weisinger sets it up again. This is Bardo. Lowell Hamilton.
Well, I tell you, I would have, when Bardo and Hamilton get the ball, I would have to put a lot of defensive pressure on them. Bardo's a freshman. Hamilton been in foul trouble a lot this game. not the greatest of ball handlers.
Weisinger had a block on the play by Gamble. Here comes Armstrong. Good speed on the play to Marble for 2.
And I'll tell you, that's a great shot. A little off balance under defensive pressure.
Less than a minute to go, and Iowa leading by a point on the drive. The stick. Kenny Norman. Hawkeyes coming right back. Armstrong. Yes.
Oh, is he a cool customer?
Iowa leading. This is Weisinger. Blackwell out on the wing. And Weisinger at the point.
They've got timeouts left.
Lowehouse picks it off, and he's fouled on the play.
Illinois had timeouts left. I don't know if Coach Henson tried to call one and they didn't see it. But that's a possession to win the ball game, or to save the ball game.
Foul on Kenny Norman is his 4th. Timeout taken by Lou Henson on the Illini bench, and he's going to make Lowehouse think about these free throws. 7 seconds left to go. Iowa leading by a point. We'll be back after this from your local stations.
Give me a light.
That's not correct, Steve. Don't just ask for a light beer.
Come on, give me a light.
You asked for it, Steve. Yes, Steve. Bud Light. The light beer with the first name and taste.
Don't just ask for a light.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light, Steve.
Hey, what's happening here? This guy checking me out? Or my Volkswagen? Guess he wants to see what this new Golf GT can do. All right, mystery man. Let me show you how I go from here to Mother's without missing a beat. Men, they never stick around.
We will get you back to the Carolina-Virginia game, but Iowa right now looking for 16 straight wins. They trailed by as many as 22. They can put a lock on it now in the overtime on the road. Back to Wayne Larrabee.
Got their extra timeout in the overtime session.
Well, I'll tell you what. Obviously, Illinois is not in the greatest of positions, but I would say that off a free throw situation, that is the easiest time to get the ball down the floor quickly and get a good shot, whether it's a make or a miss. Iowa knows that, of course, and they're not going to put anybody on the free throw area.
6 out of 7 at the line for Lowehouse here tonight. Iowa leads by 2.
Now they're going to try to get the ball to Weisinger. He'll drive it down the floor. They'll put a couple people in the corner for a three-point shot.
3-point lead for Iowa. 7 seconds to go. And again, the Hawkeyes this time relax the pressure. Blackwell signals for a timeout. 5 seconds remaining. Final timeout taken by Lou Henson. Fighting Illini, 12-2 coming in. 4-0 in Big 8 play, ranked 8th in the AP poll, number 10 of the UPI. And Iowa 15-0, 3-0 in Big 10 play coming in. Number 2 in the AP, number 3 in the UPI poll. And this game has lived up to billing. Although for a while I was thinking, well, wait a minute. Because Illinois had a comfortable 21-point lead in the second half.
This adds a new wrinkle into the coaching situation. How often do you have to design a play to get a shot from the three-point area? Now you've got to, here you take a look at that last turnover, and again, Tony Weisinger's had a great ball game, but he has, you know, I think through fatigue, you know, made a couple of these turnovers down the stretch. But now you've got to design a play to get a 20-foot jump shot.
You know, you talk about fatigue and the factor of being with Tony Weisinger. almost all night. He has been the man they've gone to exclusively against that full court pressure. He's got to be tired, no question about it. That's why his scoring pace slowed down midway through the second half. He's only human. He has had to, because of the tempo of the game, he has had to play almost all the way. They've been able to spot him here and there, getting him on the bench for a little rest, but for the most part, he's had to go at it. Well, this is not a game for freshmen.
Well, they've obviously withstood the defensive pressure and the stamina better than they did in the North Carolina game. They will not be involved in a game as high tempo as this the rest of the year until they play Iowa.
Iowa City, right. Tom Davis insists upon a 94-foot game. Iowa now wants to make a quick substitution after seeing what Illinois set up with defensively and personnel-wise. Now they make the substitution. Lohaus comes out. And Bill Jones goes in. Illini on the inbounds.
That's going to be
Kenny Norman. The Iowa Hawkeyes come away with a basketball, and the victory is Kevin Gamble dribbles it away. Tremendous comeback by the Iowa Hawkeyes as they post a come from behind 91-88 victory over Illinois. That's the end of the game. Again, the final score. Iowa 91, Illinois 88. We'll be back with more comments.
91-88, the truest test, especially this year, and especially in the Big Ten Conference, winning on the road. Iowa trailed by 22. The Illini came down. There were 3 trips by both teams up and down the court in the waning seconds of the overtime, and nobody took a timeout. So, and finally, it came down to the free throws, and the 3-point field goal just would not drop. So, Iowa now 16-0 on the season overall. 16 straight to get out of the gate, 4-0 in the Big Ten. We hadn't forgotten about our game between North Carolina and Virginia. Let's now get back to Charlottesville. Mike Patrick and Lefty Drizel. Michael?
Here's the back pick. Kenny Smith missed the shot inside. Rebound to Lance Blanks.
Beautiful backdoor cut, but he just blew it.
Mel Kennedy to the baseline. Tough angle shot, and it wouldn't go. And here's the steal. Blanks can't save it.
Good anticipation by Blank. Almost had a great steal.
He's a hustler out of the Woodlands, Texas.
I'd like to see Curry try something different here in defense. Go to his zone or something. I don't know why he hadn't done that.
Now, he's got Dislin in there now. He's going to play probably on J.R. Reed as Mel Kennedy at 6'5" sits down.
Yeah, but they got 6'11", 6'11", 6'10" in the front court. They're going to post that big guys up to the inside there and try to get it in there. Almost had him there.
Wolf for 3.
Hey, that tells you something, right? When a big 6'11" guy goes inside and gets 3-pointers.
That's his first 3-point shot of the season, and he looked like he could do it all the time. It's 68-46.
Well, the whole North Carolina bench came up on that one. You can't tell me that's not exciting.
Yeah.
Now, Wolf will probably remember that more than any shots he made in college.
That's right. Great feed inside to Shee, but he's double teamed down to Dislin.
See, if Tom gets the ball that close underneath, I don't think it's called overpassing. He ought to go on up with it and at least get a foul.
And Sheehy on Kennedy's miss.
There goes Kenny Smith pushing it up.
Blocked inside by Sheehy. Boy, did he get up on that one.
Tom got him a basket, got pumped up, made a great defensive play on the other end. He did a good job of anticipating why he could go up there and block this one.
Perfect timing.
Tom thinks he's Bill Russell now.
It's a 20-point lead. Williams will try one from about 18 feet. Holy cow.
See, their big men work on shooting that jump shot at the top of the key. You can't give them that, even though they're 6'11". That's one of the spots that they practice shooting because that's where they get the ball on their break.
Well, if you get your 6'11 guys making
in trouble right back here.
Sheehy pulls up for his bank shot and hits it. Sheehy.
Used the backboard nice that time and put it right in there with a lot of pressure on it.
Lebo. Oh, count it.
That's great. See, that makes you play good defense. You got to get out there and cover those people and when they pull up in the 3-point range like that.
Lebo just buried that at 73-50. Blanks trying to turn on the afterburner and get inside.
Good change of pace.
The hold on Scott Williams underneath. Hunter will come back in. And Thompson will go out. 11 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the ball game. It's North Carolina leading Virginia. Our score 73-50. We'll be back after this word from Natural Light.
Before the government gets hold of your tax return, maybe you should get hold of the Wall Street Journal. After all, it's your money. At least for the time being.
Call 800-228-1900 for this special introductory offer. 13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-228-1900 now for the Wall Street Journal.
11:27 left. It's gotten now to a 23-point lead. Boy, has that three-point play been a factor tonight.
Well, here's an interesting statistic. North Carolina's 6 for 8 from the free throw line, from a three-point play, and Virginia's 0 for 1. I mean, it's a big difference.
Yeah, and that's much better than North Carolina has done on the season as far as percentages are concerned.
Yeah, if you shoot 6 for 8, you better shoot some more.
Yeah, you better shoot 16. Huh?
That's right.
73-50, a 23-point margin. Still plenty of time, but the Cavaliers can't afford to make too many more mistakes.
There comes a trap. There's a trap right there. Trap. Get it out of there. Why are you getting the ball in the corner?
Knocked out of bounds. It's out to Virginia.
Well, a little contact on that, but the fans didn't like it.
No, he didn't.
There comes a trap again. He couldn't catch him. See, he dribbled out of trap that time. You got to get the ball moving quick and get it out of there. There's a good shot for Tom. You got to make that.
Blanks got the rebound away from J.R. Reed and banked it in. What a play by Lance Blanks, the 6'4" guy in there among the trees.
Get back, though, because here comes Carolina on the break.
73-52.
Virginia staying with their man for man.
Mancino Smith has shot the ball so much better this year until that one.
Well, that wasn't a good shot. He rushed that. He was off balance, and he just forced it. And left-handers can usually shoot, though.
Yeah, that's right.
And North Carolina's defense hadn't let up yet. They're after you all the time.
Sheehy trying to get inside.
Nice pass. And Andrew Kennedy scores by Tom.
He has 17, and it's 73-54. They have it under 20 again.
You got to hold them a couple times, though. You got to play some good defense here and hold them.
Hunter, Wolf.
They're looking to post those big guys up inside. You watch J.R.'s going from box to box.
And they're going to call Dislin for pushing on Reed inside. That'll be 3 on Dislin. I think he's done a pretty good job defensively when he's been in there, Coach.
Well, he has, but he stuck his hand in there that time when when J.R. broke across the lane. You got to watch him stick his hand in here. See, he's got his hand in there, and you can't do that. The official catch on it. J.R. did a pretty good job. If a man sticks his hand in there, lock him. So J.R. locked him and made sure the official saw it.
You see a hand hold on to it, huh?
That's right.
10 minutes, 11 seconds to go. North Carolina has won 11 straight games.
Well, they lost the opener to UCLA. Get it out and go. You got an advantage now. Let's see if we can get the fast break here.
3 on 2. Sheehy. Oh, Curtis Hunter.
Well, that was a good play by Hunter. He caught him and held him.
Oh, geez. Yeah, he wasn't trying to undercut him or anything, but he looked like a defensive back for the Giants.
I think he really, truth be known, he was trying to stop Sheehy from getting hurt.
Well, he did that, and he stopped him from getting the first down, too.
Yeah, he really did. I don't know if he called intentional on that or not.
You'd have to think that would be called an intentional foul.
Right.
And Sheehy will go to the free throw line. He's become a better free throw shooter every year. This season is up to 81.2%. Anything over 80 is excellent.
Tom was heavily recruited by everybody, and You know, funny story about when Terry was recruiting him, he ran over his dog. He said, I know I'm not going to get it, man. But he came to Virginia anyway. So I told Terry, I said, you must have done a real good job on it.
Maybe he didn't like the dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Second free throw is good. Oh, that's an incredible story. 73 to 56. They've got it down to 17. Trying to make a game of nice fake by Kenny Smith.
Oh, that was a quick move. Little ball fake. Crossover move, pulled up and shot his jumper.
Kenny Smith, who averages 16.6, has 17 tonight. He's going to get a heck of a game out of him every night. Lead is 19. Blank's getting a lot of minutes here in the second half. Andrew Kennedy missed that one. Blank's with a follow, and he gets shots like that. They'll have him in there a lot.
Blank's doing a good job. Well, speaking of Kenny Smith being a great guard, which he is, there's a kid at his high school by the name of Kenny Anderson. They say it's better than Kenny Smith.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, just a sophomore.
Kenny Smith buries that one. You know who Kenny Smith says the best point guard in the country is? Tommy Amaker.
Is really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to go with Muggsy Bogues.
I'd hate to live on the difference between the three of them.
I know. I like to have all three of them.
Yeah.
Play a three-guard offense.
Dislin had the ball knocked out of bounds by Reed. Hobson will come back to the ballgame for Curtis Hunter. Dislin thought he got a foul on that one.
Let's see if Virginia can get that thing away from this trapping. Throw the ball in the corner.
He lost it. Boy, you call it every time. When it goes in the corner, they're in trouble.
Nice move.
What a move.
Nice crossover move. And I know George Lehman, who's helped coach Lebo a lot in the summertime, is home. I taught him that.
Lebo has 15, and it's a 21-point game. Every time Virginia makes a little bit of a move, Carolina has the answer. Andrew Kennedy, good move, but the shot won't fall. And he's fouled on the way up, and they've got Kenny Smith for it.
Good foul by Kenny Smith, though, because he got it before he got the shot off. Kenny grabs his arm here, and before he gets the shot off, looked like he hit the ball a little bit, too.
At least got part of the ball.
Nice, good foul.
Richard Morgan will come back in the ball game. Andrew Kennedy has not had a good shooting second half, and he's gotten his shots, his baseline jumpers he likes. Tim Martin is now going to come in for Terry Howard. And Dislin will come out.
Dislin did a good job defensively, but he didn't help him offensively. Terry's got to get some scoring out of his men in the middle there.
Sheehy, perfect from the line. Hits that one. Sheehy in with 16 points.
Virginia got to make a move here quick if they're going to get back in it.
Yeah. If you're at this point, do you start shooting those three-point shots?
I don't know about that. I start doing something different, though. I start pressing. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to get those penetrations. Morgan really hasn't given him much tonight.
Right. Here's a bad pass by Lebo. Kenny Smith went one way, the ball went the other. 79-60. The lead is 19 points in this ball game. Still plenty of time to go. 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Mike Patrick and Lefty Drizel with you from Charlottesville, Virginia. The Cavaliers 1-1 in the conference. North Carolina 2-0. We've got a timeout with 8:10 left from University Hall. It's a 19-point game. North Carolina over Virginia.
This baby will blow the doors off anything on the road, just like a BMW.
Isn't she a beauty? BMW would build one like this.
You think BMW has advanced technology? Listen to this.
Your store is open.
Huh?
For about $22,000, you can own a BMW 325. Or the hollow feeling of having settled for less. Investing these days is a little like you playing tennis against Jimmy Connors. You're going to need all the professional help you can get. PaineWebber's capital management team is ready to provide that help right now. Because whether you run a company or invest in one, PaineWebber believes the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your financial services.
Hey, great match. Thanks, Jimmy. Thank you, PaineWebber. Next time I want those guys on my team, okay?
There's the story from University Hall. 8:10 left, 79-60. North Carolina over Virginia, and the Tar Heels have just steadily built that lead till they got it to 20, and they just kept it there, Coach.
Well, they've been very consistent on defense and offense, and Virginia's just not getting good shots. And you know, Richard Morgan, this would be a good time for Morgan to get going. And pull right up there and shoot that three-pointer.
Goes inside, banked it up for an air ball. And that was not what they wanted out of Richard Morgan.
Oh, here comes Carolina on the break. There he is on a low block. Nice move.
Yeah. Tip followed by Wolf.
Carolina's tough on the boards. You got to figure them three guys there. You know, Popson, Wolf, and J.R. Reed could kill you if you were playing football.
No kidding. And when one of them misses a shot, there always seems to be another one there to tip it up. 81-60.
In my opinion, they're the best basketball team in the country. And I think they'll win the national championship in a couple of breaks. That's saying a lot, but, you know, I like it better than any team I've seen play.
Sheehy. Well, that's 2 air balls in a row for the Cavaliers, and that's not going to cut into a 21-point lead too much.
They're rushing their shots. They're trying to cut. They're worried because they're 19. Just try to cut it in half. I like to see them cut it in half and then call time, and they'll be back in the game. But they can't do it all at once.
North Carolina again with 5 players in double figures. Smith with 19, Lebo 15, Reed 13, Wolf 14, and 110. Martin won't go. Wolf with a rebound.
Nice rebound. He was up above the rim. Good pass.
And Reed went flying. Martin committed the foul. Well, they just run so well.
Beautiful bounce pass by Kenny Smith. Watch this bounce pass. That's pretty. Right? He never got it through there if he hadn't thrown a bounce pass. J.R.'s taking 245 pounds through the basket.
How many times did you see him play in high school?
Too many. Too many. I risked my life going in little private planes and thunderstorms and everything else. There he is playing at Carolina. I should have known he was going there anyway.
Reed at the line. 13 points on the night. It's the free throw. It's 82-60.
In my opinion, he's the best big man that's ever played in this league as a freshman. I think he's better.
Right?
I think he's better than Ralph Sampson was as a freshman, or any big man that's ever played in this league.
That's quite a compliment.
Because he's a man. You know, Ralph Sampson weighs 200 pounds. Even Moses Malone in high school weighed about 195. You're talking about a guy that weighs 225.
Johnson hit Morgan with a bullet. Here's a bad pass.
All right, now let's get going, Virginia, if you're going to get back in this thing.
Hey, we almost had a souvenir there. Terry Holland staring grimly at the court right now. His team is down by 21.
Bell Kennedy's got to get in there and do something. He's a better player than he's played tonight. Yeah. He's not playing up to par.
Morgan. Kenny Smith will respect his outside shooting ability. Sheehy, another bad angle shot. He was really behind the backboard.
Well, he shot it on the run. You know, he didn't have his feet on the ground. He shot like a one-hand run shot, like shooting at a bird. It's tough to shoot a bird when he's moving. It's tough to shoot a basketball when you're on a move like that. You got to have your feet balance.
Well, what a move in there by Bucknall. That quick first step, and he draws the foul on him.
That was a super move. He faked to the middle, crossed over, went to the baseline, used his quickness to stop. Good two-footed stop and drew the foul.
Mel Kennedy got the personal non-shooting foul. That's only the 4th team foul against Virginia. North Carolina has 6.
Good ball movement. What they want to do now, they want to use the clock up a little bit.
Reed had it knocked away a little bit by Sheehy, but it goes out of bounds and will be out to North Carolina. Sheehy, a little dangerous reaching, got a piece of the ball there. There they go. They have 5 players who average in double figures under the starters, and then they have a 6th in Rancino Smith. Curtis Hunter in double figures tonight. He does not average double figures on the season.
That's tough, though. When you get 5 people double figures, you have a tough time beating a team like that.
Yeah. That means you can shut down one weapon. They have so many others. And we've got a foul on Richard Morgan trying to hold Lebo. That's going to be 4 on Richard Morgan.
Off a ball foul. You don't want to get those, Richard. Just take your time and get good position. That's the kind of fouls you don't need.
6:06 left. It's still a 21-point game. And North Carolina, as Lefty said, just as soon work on the clock right now as anything else.
Well, they got to reset there. And
Bucknall from long range. Oh, do you believe that? Hobson with a tip in, but we've got a foul, I believe, before it. Or they hit the top of the backboard. I think they
Yeah, I think
it
he hit the top of the backboard. It's out of bounds before he tipped it. That's a great tip in.
Oh, geez.
Popson's really improved. He might be the most improved player in the ACC.
I think you're right. Mel Kennedy had it blocked out of bounds by Popson. Even in that loss to North Carolina, to UCLA for North Carolina, he had an excellent game, and I said I had never seen him play that well, Coach, and I think he's going to have a great senior season.
Well, you know, that loss to North Carolina, I knew that was coming. I don't want to sound like a prophet.
The UCLA game?
Oh, yeah. See, North Carolina beat UCLA year before last, the worst that they've ever been beat in the history of the school. Now, if somebody does that and then they're coming back to your place the next team, you better be ready, brother.
And as I recall, North Carolina was also coming off that trip to Hawaii, and that's a rugged trip to go through.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't care where they were coming from. I guarantee UCLA was ready for that ball game.
Bucknall and Kennedy exchanged an elbow, and Bucknall got the foul out of it.
You watch Bucknall, if fans want to watch a good defensive player, watch Bucknall. He had a reputation in high school as being one of the best defensive players in the country. He gets down and works on you. He's not a great offensive player, but he plays hard. He's a great defensive player. You notice Dean will always put him on the toughest guy on the other ball club.
And that's really unusual coming out of high school in most programs.
It is. Yeah, most guys are recruited because they're offensive players or they're, you know, good ball handlers, point guards, and everybody recruited him because he was a great defensive player.
Well, I'm going to hope this is not going to jinx Richard Morgan, but I'm here to tell you he's hit 19 consecutive free throws. And Richard, for my sake, make them both, will you? There's one.
All net.
No letters on this one, right? Morgan, an excellent free throw shooter. 88.5% coming into this ball game. And he's been on fire his last 5 or 6 ball games. Got that one. See, the jinx doesn't work after all, folks. There's Lance Blanks. He'll come in, and Johnson will come out. So they got a little more firepower out there with Blanks and Morgan in the backcourt.
I think what North Carolina's going to do now, they're going to really be patient on offense and take their time and run some of the clock down, try to get the ball inside. And they got a nice lead now. They're not going to be foolish with it. They want to run and work the clock a little bit.
Very patient. Thompson had it knocked out of his hands, and it's out to North Carolina with 22 seconds on the shot clock, 5:14 on the game clock.
Well, they ran 23 off, and now they may run some more off, and it's going to be tough for Virginia to catch them if they do this.
Yeah, you can't score if you don't have the ball.
That's right. There's Kenny Smith one-on-one.
Walk.
He
won't see that very often.
He was too quick for his own self. He had to take himself out. But he wanted to go one-on-one. He had him isolated over on the side, and he had a good shot at going one-on-one, but just a little bit too quick.
Ranzino Smith comes in for Kenny Smith. And now Sheehy will come out, and Andrew Kennedy comes back in. Sheehy gets a nice hand. Gave him some offense there in a big stretch.
Well, I don't think he'll sit him out long. He just wants him to catch his breath and get him right back in there because he's got to have him in there for some offense.
Sheehy goes out with 17. He and Andrew Kennedy sharing game honors for Virginia. Mel Kennedy, with an air ball. Kept alive by Morgan, and Andrew Kennedy gets his 19th point.
You watch Virginia play, Mike, and you wonder what would they be if they had Polynese back?
Oh, no kidding.
If they had Polynese back, they'd be right up in the top 10 right now.
85-66. It's under 20 again.
Once they get used to playing without him, they're going to beat a lot of people next year.
Wolf's turnaround jumper won't go. Blanks with another rebound.
Take that three-pointer right there.
Morgan wants it. Won't go for him. Kept alive in the corner by Andrew Kennedy. Out to North Carolina, though. Well, that three-pointer would have cut it down to 16.
Heard blood pressure shooting up over there on the bench.
And there is the field goal percentage. You see Virginia not doing as well. Well, really neither team doing as well, but North Carolina is still a little lofty at 58%. You never taught Terry that stomp, did you?
No, Terry's more under control than this. Nice jump hook by Wolf.
Reed kept alive, knocked it out of bounds.
Joe Wolf's really developed a tough jump hook inside. He missed it that time, but he won't miss it very often. There's Dean Smith trying to get win number 593 tonight.
A lot of wins.
And North Carolina's going to his zone for the second time tonight.
Morgan for three. Got that one. 85-69.
There's a pass from the secondary break. Coming down, there's JR. Now that's smart. They're going to run the clock down a little.
Wolf from 14.
That's too easy to pass. Take out.
Joe Wolf with 16 points above his 14-8 season's average. It's an 18-point game with 3:32 left in it. Nice move from Blanks. Then he missed the shot. Boy, Andrew Kennedy's fighting his heart out inside.
Here comes their break. To the corner, right inside to the box. JR, turnaround jumper. Perfect.
Just so tough. He has 17. And the lead's back to 20. The Cavaliers' chances just drifting away here. What chance there was.
It'd take a miracle right here. Somebody had to hit about 10 straight three-pointers, he might win it.
Yeah. Morgan could. This is Andrew Kennedy. He's had a nice night offensively. 21 points. Worked hard on the board.
JR right on the box again.
Lost this one. Blanks back the other way.
You got to pull up and shoot that.
Morgan for three, in and out. That's the third one he's had go in and out on. Falls out to Virginia.
In my opinion, Blanks had the best shot right there in the middle of the court. He's got to shoot that thing now. The only way they're going to possibly get back in.
There's a timeout on the court. 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go in this ball game from Charlottesville. It's still an 18-point lead as North Carolina is on top of Virginia, 89-71.
We're not a company, but no company has more pride in what they do, or more pride in how well they do it. We offer you a meaningful and fulfilling future, one that goes far beyond the ordinary, one that brings with it the respect and admiration of Americans everywhere. We're not a company, we're your country. We're the Air Force, the Marines, the Army, the Navy. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
How much longer till we get there?
About 20 minutes.
Anti-lock brakes, internationally patented suspension, uncanny control. Conventional luxury sedans are built to survive accidents. BMW 528e is built to avoid them.
Let's see if they're okay.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
.241 left. North Carolina on top of Virginia, 89-71. It is desperation time for the Cavaliers. They've got Sims in there who can also shoot from outside.
Well, it's all over now. They might as well just practice and take their time. Don't go wild. And
Morgan off J.R. Reed's hands out of bounds.
But then you got to play like the score's tied now. They're not going to win it anyway. Just, you know, get good shots. Don't go crazy out there and do foolish things.
Michael Norwood is into the ballgame for the first time for Dean Smith. Kenny Smith will go out presumably for the last time. Had a fine night, 19 points. A foul on Norwood as he comes off the bench. That's his first. See who's going to the free throw line. Sims out of Alexandria, Virginia. Another excellent free throw shooter.
And North Carolina's got two big wins under the belt on the road in the conference this year. Duke and Virginia. They're usually two tough teams to beat on the road, and they're in pretty good shape right now.
Now this has got to be, as far as this conference is concerned, how tough was it to win on the road?
Pretty tough. But I mean, you see, that's the way you tell if you got a good ball club. I know North Carolina's got a good ball club now because they've won some games on the road. And you know, Clemson, I think, is a good ball club, but I want to see him play a little bit more on the road before I get too fired up.
A couple of missed free throws. Bill Batts into the ball game, tried to turn around jumper, didn't go. Foul is going to be on Sims.
I'll say one thing about North Carolina's defense tonight. They've made, when Terry looks at the films, he's going to get on his players about taking bad shots and shots off of balance. But you got to give, I don't think it's all their fault. It's Carolina's defense that's made them do that. That Virginia's pressing, but I think it's a little too late now. But they may want to press somebody, may look good here in the last couple of minutes and end up pressing the next game.
Right.
But this is smart on Terry's part to let him press. Look at that. Great
steal by Blanks. Missed the shot, but the follow tip won't go either.
I'll tell you one thing, Blanks has got himself some good playing time after his performance tonight.
That was Bill Batts putting it in, and here's the pressure again. It's 89-74, another steal. And the foul will go against North Carolina, and Dean Smith not happy, and Jeff Lebo is going to come back in the ballgame as he had put in Jeff Denny and Michael Norwood, some seldom used players. Let's see if one of them comes back out.
Lance Blanks was player of the year in Texas. He's from Houston, and I got all over John Lucas for not recruiting him for me. I said, why you let Ralph get in there and recruit him for Virginia? So he's coming along. John told me he was going to be a good player.
Denny comes out of the ball game as Lebo comes back in. A minute 51. If you're not going to get the ball past midcourt, still a long time. Free throw way off by Blanks. He goes for the rebound. Out hustled everybody for it, and it's out of bounds to Virginia. Oh, you're right about Blanks. He's really hustled in this ball game.
He really has. They've cut it down to 15 here now. Make it respectable. Get a couple more. I definitely set a pick or something. Go for a three-pointer right here. Get outside.
Morgan, this is inside that line. Swish. 89-76. Norwood under pressure to Ranzino Smith. Almost lost it. And they'll just work on the clock now with a minute and a half left. Double pump. Basket won't go, but he'll get the foul.
It's kind of hard to get those subs to hold the ball. You know,
Yeah,
they haven't played all game to get that hill on the score. Good pump fake inside here and makes him foul. Can't see it's not a real good angle, but he does a good job of pump faking and going up and drawing the foul.
Let me ask you a question. Now that you're not coaching in this league, what do you think of the officiating in this league overall compared to other officials?
Well, I think officials get knocked on and dragged down too much. You know, officials are a very important part of basketball, and you know, I probably led the league in the fewest number of technical fouls ever since I've been in the league. And officials don't get enough credit. It's a tough game to call. You got 10 guys out there knocking on each other and pushing and shoving, and on the whole, they do a great job.
All right. Rob Metcalf comes into the ball game. Morgan comes out, gets a nice hand. Andrew Kennedy comes out.
You know, they give an award every year for the outstanding player in the ACC. They ought to give an award for the outstanding official in the ACC every year because they're an important part of the game. And the fans get on them a lot, the players get on them, and the coaches. But basketball wouldn't be any good if it didn't happen.
Not a bad idea. 91-76 with a minute 20 to go. North Carolina is averaging 95 points a ball game, and they'll come at least very close to that tonight. Loose ball out of bounds.
I'll say one thing for Virginia. They've hung in there and they've fought right to the end, and they haven't given up.
North Carolina's basketball. We're down to a minute 13. Jeff Denny back in for North Carolina, the freshman from Rural Hall, North Carolina. He's number 3. Got the ball right now.
Virginia's really getting after more defense here.
Ranzino Smith had it blocked by Batts. Bill Batts, the young man we featured at halftime.
Watch, if he comes over from the help side and gets up there and does a good job of blocking his shot and not hitting him with his body. The only thing I didn't like about it, he knocked the ball out of bounds. So North Carolina gets the ball back. I like to teach my shot blockers to keep the ball in play if they possibly can.
Ooh. Bucknall will get the foul out of this one.
Trying to drag his pivot for that there on the takeoff.
Metcalf picks up the personal, the freshman from Port Edwards, Wisconsin. So North Carolina is going to go to 3-0 in the conference, 14-1 overall. Virginia will fall to 9-4, 1-2 in the ACC. Good look at that bench. A lot of talent sitting on the wood right now.
Well, those guys have done their job tonight, and they're going to sit over and take a little rest. They got to feel good because they've won 2 big conference games on the road early.
Bucknall's free throw is good. Young man that really lacked a basketball background.
They don't play much basketball over in England.
No. She fought. 92-76. We're under 40 seconds.
You watch Bucknall play defense. He's a great defensive player.
Sim.
Good after Derek. Good move, Derek. Derek was playing Hill High School, played for Steve Vetter, one of the best prep schools, high schools in America.
92-78, down to 14. The game really hasn't been this close in the second half. Williams to Bucknall. He likes to go to his left. Put that one in. I don't know if it'll count or not. I think it does.
Bucknall knows what to do with it. Good move, good crossover move. Only thing I didn't like about it, he shot it with the opposite hand. He's got to learn to shoot that thing with his left hand.
6'6" sophomore. Makes the three-point play, and it's 95-78. That is North Carolina's offensive average for the year. This is Marty Hensley, redshirt freshman out of Marion, North Carolina, into the ballgame. Played the last few seconds.
Marty was highly recruited and he's going to be a good ball player in North Carolina once he gets a little bit of strength and some playing time.
Out of bounds with 3 seconds to go. Another player who didn't get much time here and transferred, Matt Bruss, doing a great job for St. John's.
That's correct.
Cook getting in for the first time off. Pretty pass, and Bats, excuse me, will get the final basket of the ball game. Our final score here in Charlottesville. North Carolina winning its 14th game of the year, 95. Virginia.
In all of sport, the National Collegiate Basketball Championship.